So guys, it is Tuesday, November 22nd, 2 days before their day of thanks. And we've got a very, very, very special guest speaker today. What a great start to the week, you guys. I want to introduce a dear friend of mine and business partner who I'm going to make a co-host on this right now. And let's make sure that we are in a quiet spot and we have hit the mute button unless we've got a question for Brian. But let me just kind of introduce Brian real quick, guys. Brian started with Globe Life Family Heritage back in 2008. I can remember when he had hopped in his car, drove all the way up to North Carolina to hang out with me for a couple of days, and we recruited, we trained, and we sold during those 2 days, and had an absolute blast. And I realized, yeah, I'm a little jealous. This is somebody I wish I'd recruited because I like to partner with this guy. He's going to go places. He was promoted to agency owner in 2012, just 4 years later. Took me 9 to get there. This guy did it in 4. What? The Ross Agency's eclipsed $24 million in net annualized premium lifetime with key people in mainly Florida and Georgia, where they've grown organically. Had 40% growth in 2021 and are currently up another 48% 2022 so far. So they are actually, straight up. Brian and his wife, Lisa, have 3 children and 1 Labrador, Grace, Blair, and Adam in that order. Awesome kids. It was the third one was the charm. Brian needed his little namesake, and he got him and Adam. And then Rocket, the Labrador, who I know he loves to take down to the Grape and Grain and hang out. They live in Jacksonville, Florida. So guys, can we please give a rousing, warm Schneider Davenport Agency welcome to the one, the only, the incredible B. Ross.
All right,
Welcome,
guys.
Brian.
Hey, thanks. You guys hear me okay?
Absolutely.
Hey, honored to speak with you this morning, and a great way to start my Tuesday. So thanks for hopping on. This is a time of the year where, I always talk about being a fighter pilot, and you always think about, of course, we want to have a solid, we want to make sure we maximize our opportunities this week. Also, be present with family and friends and have a great Thanksgiving and a lot to look forward to, over the holidays. Some big football games coming up, not so much for Tennessee, but for some other schools. Too soon? It's right there, right? It's just right there. They were number 1 for 4 days. So, I remember 8 years ago, I was kind of, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, we used to have a national meeting, in between Christmas and New Year's. Some of the older experienced agents remember that. And so I just remember getting to January and just feeling pretty slow, just not sharp, not as quick, not as ready for action, not as professional, just kind of melancholy, a little bit lackadaisical. So I wanted to share a part with you this morning. It's going to be a work in progress. And so I just want to plant some seeds with you and give you some things to think about between now and the end of the year. And then, I want you to maybe consider being a fighter pilot and thinking about really Q1, January, what kind of 2023 are you capable of? Do you want to have? If you reach your potential next year, what would that look like? What would it look like in 2024, 2025? So I'm going to try and share my screen here, and then we'll give it a go. All right, so here's the Davenport Schneider 2023 Q1 Fitness Challenge. So fitness is not about being better than someone else. It's about being better than you used to be. Khloe Kardashian. Does it get any better than that?
No.
Or does it get any better than this Zoom PowerPoint? You ready?
What?
Forget about it, right? So what we put in the lives of others comes back into our own. What if I told you that, let me move this over so I can And I'm gonna do a lot of reading here, but it's gonna go, I think it's gonna go quick, and then we'll maybe have a chance at the end to unpack a few things. What if I told you you didn't have to do anything different technically to produce twice as much in 2023 as you did in 2022? Here's the deal. We need your help. Here's our situation. Many of us have worked with Family Heritage 5+ years. And of course, there's a lot of things that are always going to be new and exciting. We're going to have a double-digit growth year again. We have industry-leading products. Of course, we know that our long-term, financial opportunity is second to none. Every year, the numbers get better and better. But thinking back, I'm thinking back again. I was 41 years old. So 8 years ago, do the math. I was needing something else. And I really didn't even know that I was already on the path. And so I'm going to introduce you this morning to a concept and a challenge that I think could change the trajectory of your life and hopefully your business and what that looks like going forward with your family. So hopefully that sounds good so far. It's about physical fitness, and it's about influencing your professional success. So how does physical fitness influence your professional success? So here's just a couple of takeaways. Researchers have conducted numerous studies that determine the relationship between exercise and productivity in the workplace to varying degrees. Many studies have found some positive correlation between regular exercise and improved productivity, reduced absenteeism, and fewer health-related work limitations, especially through participating in worksite fitness centers. Obviously, we know about endorphins. They relieve pain and stress. They strengthen the immune system, improve your mood. In addition to other effects, exercises cause us to release serotonin, which is known as the happiness chemical, which affects human moods in a profound way. So in sales, feeling control over stress, improving your health, maintaining a positive attitude, these are all important aspects of productivity in any job. But with us as sales professionals, it's fair to say that regular exercise can improve, our productivity and our results. So how does that, factor in? Boom. For sales, a ton. I mean, it's Carmine Gallo, communications coach, successful leaders. He devoted an entire chapter just to health and exercise because nearly all of the successful sales professionals he interviewed described physical fitness as a top priority. In one interview with a personal trainer, a proper training program will help you better posture, exude more energy, and prepare you to handle the demands of a busy professional life. Without energy, you'll look and sound like a dud. The sales professional who exercises regularly looks and feels energized. They radiate passion, vitality, and energy. So again, you think about we walk into a business, we want to go through our first approach, we want to establish rapport, we want to connect dots with someone and kind of talk to them about how we got there. But are we radiating passion? Do we exude energy? Does someone look at us and say, God, that person is really excited and enjoying what they're doing? So regular exercise is important for maintaining high energy as it relates to leaders' appearances, but it also may be a large determinant in how we grow our agencies. So this is kind of that next piece in terms of the career track. They have these workshops. A lot of times the top executives, they're required to go exercise at 6 a.m. Group training workouts in particular directly feed into cultivating strong leaders. That's something we do pretty consistently on most train moors. There's nothing better than having a new agent come on their first train moor and going on a run in the morning with Revis and I in the parking lot. And every corner we do 5 burpees. And in about 10 or 15 minutes, that new agent's throwing up. Like, that's the good stuff, right? Like, that's like, wow, okay. They think they're in shape because they're 21, 22 years old. It's beautiful. So how does it influence our professional success? Anybody in an air-conditioned office can do the deal, but we're not in offices. Like, we're out, we're in and out of the car. We're athletes. We're the Navy SEALs of the insurance industry. So regular exercise, in addition to his team building, gives executives, sales professionals the ability to maintain high energy through the demands of their jobs, including working long hours and frequent travel. So a Monster Monday starts with, a morning routine. This one right here, I think, is a really good takeaway if you're taking notes. Last one says a good leader earns respect for his or her ability to manage employees and achieve the organization's mission. But a great leader also sets an example that health and wellness are always top of mind. That one stuck with me. When we were on a Q3, like some of us are going to be in Puerto Rico next week. We've done a Q3, legacy, all-inclusive trip for many, many years. We were on a Q3 trip in Mexico, and I'll never forget, on the beach, Andy Santos took off his shirt, and I was like, golly. I mean, it was like, dude, Santos was ripped. And it was like this next level of like, what the heck? And so that set the bar. And then Nate Borg followed suit. Kyle's done the same thing. I have all the respect in the world for Van just doing 75 hard. I'm in good shape. Revis is in good shape. Paul Haflin's in good shape. I mean, when you look across the board at Legacy and you see our domination compared to other agencies within Family Heritage, it's not just that we're that much better, recruiting and hiring and training. We're in way better shape than the rest of the company. You look at all the divisional presidents that come to visit us, we're in much better shape than the vast majority of Family Heritage. And so that's another reason that Legacy continues to dominate and will continue to dominate, because we're not even tired. You think about other groups coming off Founders Week, what a typical Monday looks like when groups have gone all in. We had a tremendous day yesterday. You guys had an awesome day yesterday. It's because we're not tired. It's because we just came off of Founders Week. We flip the switch, go back to work, and we'll get ready for a new week. So there's just a lot of power that goes with your morning routine, and just kind of that, how do I say it? A fit body and a calm mind and a house full of love has to be earned. It cannot be bought. So where do we go from here? It's different for everybody. But I'm going to introduce, again, between now and January 1, a couple things to be thinking about in terms of your fitness and what that could look like as the driving force. Like Justin Ellingson says, we can't do your push-ups for you. Last week on the Train More, Charlie Heaton Monday morning said, I'm tired of being mediocre. And so he started in the morning coming to our Train More workouts. Charlie just had his best week ever, wrote 20,900 on the Train More last week. So, you just see these direct examples of people that go, you know what, enough is enough. I need to tighten up. So me, again, 5, 6, 7, it's actually 8 years ago now when I look at it. It was the Monday morning after the Super Bowl, and I was at the end of the road. I wasn't out of shape, but I wasn't in shape. I'm 6'1", about 200, so I'm never going to be like heavy. But I knew I just wasn't at my best. And so here's a couple of things that I've realized, looking back and just reflecting on a couple of things that I think really have played a significant role in any, limited or marginal success that I've had. So, and a couple of things I'm really proud of. So one is I don't drink at all Sunday through Thursday. So, not that I was a big drinker before, but really nothing at all, Sunday through Thursday. I typically am in bed between 10 and 10:30 consistently, so I get a good night's sleep. I go to a morning. It's like a CrossFit light, so it's not CrossFit, but it's just a community. People that expect me to be there, I expect them to be there. That's 3 or 4 days a week to class. So it's at 5:30 in the morning. But I did the math. I go 3 or 4 days a week. So that's about 200 workouts per year. And so over the last 8 years, that's 1,600 workouts. That's 1,600 times that I've gotten up at 4:50 in the morning and been at the gym by 5:30. Home by 6:45, coffee and read by 7. I've already thought through my day. I've already thought through the majority of my day. It's planned out before I even, flip the switch at 8 o'clock. So if you stop and think about that, where do you think your confidence level is when you've already thought through most of the conversations you might have? You've got a group presentation at 10:30, you've got enrollment set up in the afternoon. If you've already thought through that, in the morning before 8 a.m., where does your how much confidence do you have in the right places when you go in and to introduce yourself and talk about who we are and what we do and how we make a difference. Couple of sprint triathlons. I've done 15 gate river runs, which is it's a 15K. It's the national championship for the 15K. I did a half marathon a couple of Thanksgivings ago. I've never done one before, and it was on a Thanksgiving morning, and I just went out and ran the turkey trot. I really did almost hurt myself, but I finished. It was good. And then we've got a Spartan race. So now in February of this year, February of 2023, we're getting our group together, Northeast Florida. So we'll have our group do a Spartan race, so it's a 10K, and there's all these obstacles, and it's challenging, but it's fun. And so we'll get everybody to rally around that and make a whole thing of it. A couple other ones that I would have missed out on had I not started this journey. And I'll be a little bit transparent here. At our country club, I would never have been on the board of governors had I not, been part of the morning crew. There's just relationships that I made in the morning and in that first shift, that I think helped get me nominated. And I served a 3-year term, and it was just a good experience, just being around a lot of movers and shakers here in Jacksonville. Our organization in 2018 grew 25%. In 2019, we would have been flat, but we weren't. We grew 10 more percent. In 2020, we were flat because I think part of it COVID. But last year, 40% in 2021, and we'll probably finish over 50% in 2022. So again, the business I'm responsible for, last 5 years, a little over $8.2 million in business. And so this is my prime income earning years. Like, I'm 49 years old. So, this is where I have to be really intentional about my income and make sure that I'm maximizing, and generating as much income as possible with a 13-year-old, 11-year-old, and a 4-year-old. So if I've got, 3 going to college and 2 weddings to pay for, I don't want to wait too much longer. I want to be maximizing that financial opportunity now. I think our financial situation could look different, if I wasn't always hungry and just pushing and just challenging other people, to reach their goals and stretch and do their very, very best. And then I honestly don't think Lisa and I would have had a 3rd child. I don't think Adam would definitely have happened if I didn't feel like, because I'll be 50, with a 5-year-old. I'm the George Clooney, of San Marco here in Jacksonville. So I don't know if that would have been, I hesitated, I dragged my feet, but eventually I was like, okay, Lisa's 7 years younger than me. So she's 42. I was like, hey, babe, if there's another baby waiting for us, let's make that happen. Or let's try. And then the Lord's blessed us with, a son, and he's 4, and, we're managing the whirlwind, every week. So it's a big deal. So a couple takeaways. Today is about the sizzle. The state comes, next week in Puerto Rico when I take my shirt off. Just kidding. Don't expect much. But I do want to say, it's just a mindset. And again, it's a morning routine. And before you rationalize how it wouldn't work for you, I don't have anything like that in my area, or, I just want you to be open-minded to something that moved the needle for me personally and professionally. If you are open-minded, consider what that would look like for you. Like, what would it look like if you were in your very best shape ever in this business, and having a morning routine that was really consistent. How big of a difference would that play, do you think, in your weekly results, monthly, your bonuses, quarterly goals? So, the core principles that I have, is just to work with as many people as long as possible. I can't work with a Sean Rivas, who was a Division I, walk-on athlete, unless I'm in good shape. I can't attract the best unless I feel like I'm the best. It's a big piece to the puzzle. And so I really appreciate everybody's time, and let's definitely have a strong finish to Q4 and create as much momentum as possible between now and next year.
Amen. Brian, thank you so much for sharing that. Guys, we've got a minute. Actually, we've got 5. If anybody does have any questions, this is one heck of an opportunity to pick the brains of a verified genius.
Actually not, because University of Georgia is not the Harvard of the South. It's more of just like, I can outwork people. Like I am not smarter, but I can wake up earlier and I can work later. And so I'll just grind you into the ground.
Guys, the fact that he knows he's not that sharp makes him a verified genius. That's first step is knowing, right?
It's a simple business, thankfully.
Hey, Brian, I was curious, man. What is your, you kind of went through it. What does a morning routine look like step by step when you first wake up? What's your wake up time? What does your morning routine kind of look like each day?
Yeah, I'll go fast. So just, 450s automatic. And when I'm really on my game, I'm up at like 4:47. And then I get to my phone, my phone's never it's always in the bathroom. So I'll get to the phone and turn that thing off before it even goes off. Then I look at the phone, I'm like, yep, it's on. Like, I know today's going to be a big one. And then again, to the gym about 5:20. We start at 5:30, done at 6:15, home by 6:30. And again, it's kind of like, we're not doing like heavy weights, and I'm not trying to break any records, but it's about mobility and strength training and, just kind of core and, kind of everything, and so that's really kind of what you go for, I think, at my age. A cup of coffee from the club and then bringing that home, that's kind of like the reward. Grab Rocket, one trip around the block with no phone, because that gives me about 15 minutes, Kyle, just to like think, and not, have any distractions and just, look at some, pretty scenery. And then kids are waking up at 7, and so quick, get some smoothies together for them, kind of quarterback breakfast. And then they're, off to school. I get them to school by about 7:35. And then I'm texting agents, before 8 o'clock. And then we kick off. Most of our Zooms, most of our training starts at 8:30. So you guys start a little bit earlier than us, which is great.
Hey, Brian, it's Erica. How are you this morning?
I'm good. Hi, Erica.
What is the one piece of information or one advice, one tidbit of information that you give your new people that come on that start to get in their head when they have a bad day or 2 bad days in a row?
Just go back and look at your sales talk. I think we take for granted people that new agents, have learned their sales talk. In my experience, most people don't know their sales talk as well as we think they do. So just there's always confidence when you go back and read your sales talk.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, I'm going to hop off. I've got to do our 8:30 leadership call. So, hey, excited to see some of you guys next week. And let's make 2023 our best year ever for fitness and professional success. So thanks for being on.
Brian, thank you very much. Guys, I want to challenge you with this. Today is the second day of the December sales month. I did some math earlier because I'm speaking on a call to Andy Santos's group later. But guys, December is 8.33% of your year, just like every other month is. Okay. And just looking at it logically, we're all in one of 3 camps right now, guys. Either we're on track for our annual goals, our quarterly goals. We're a little ahead of our annual goals or our quarterly goals, or we're a little bit behind. Regardless of where we are, guys, looking at it completely logically, because it's easy to, when we get behind on a goal, to just scrap it and just defer it to the next year. But guys, if you've still got to pay your mortgage in December, if you still got to pay the rent in December, if you still want to keep the heat on, if you got a credit card bill to take care of in December, okay? If you've got a water bill in December, if you got a cell phone bill, you need to put gas in your car in December, then guys, what do we need to do in December?
Nothing but our best.
Yeah, we need to do our jobs, right? We need to protect families. We need to recruit other agents. We need to do what we need to do, just like we did in January, just like we did in June, just like we did in September. It's another month, guys. And there's a quote by Jordan Belfort that hangs in our office, in the Raleigh office, and it says, "The only thing keeping you from your goal is that bullshit story that you tell yourself on why you can't achieve it." Sorry for the language there, but it's part of the quote. So guys, I have seen agents completely just ditch at the end of the year and show up in January with zero momentum, like Brian was talking about, just wheels in the mud, trying to create new momentum. Guys, remember the law of physics. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. That's physics. Peter Ferret taught us that we tend to start the next thing the way that we finish the current thing. Guys, the current thing is 2022. The next thing is 2023. We right now are setting the tone for how we start and come out of the gates in 2023 by the way we finish 2022. I've seen agents too that have recommitted to their year and dug in and had their absolute best year, their best month rather, in December. And it can happen for you. Guys, make it a lot of fun. Make it a December to remember. Make sure, make sure a little hit. I'll give you a little tip right now, because when we come back next week, we're going to be in the physical month of December. Go get yourself a $5 Santa hat from Walmart and get yourself about 150 candy canes of assorted flavors, and make sure that you're walking around in your Santa Claus in December, that you're having a good time. You're ho-ho-hoing it up, and you're bringing sunshine. You're popping in on existing clients, and you're giving out candy canes to clients and people. You're going to find out there's a lot of new clients out there, a lot of new employees. They're going to ask you to come back. Just have some fun with it, guys. December is a great month. It's a fun month, and it's exactly what you make of it. So, guys, thanks for being on today. We will be on tomorrow at 8 a.m. For our final Zoom of this week. But I challenge everybody, guys. We've been so blessed. Let's go out and bless somebody else with our presence today and brighten their day just by showing up. Have a great day, guys.